Red dot is live. That red dot is live, which means we are live, America. Welcome back. IDD on the road. We are in the place to be where it all began. We are a week out from 4th of July. I hope you had a great 4th. We know here in the Commonwealth things got crazy. As you know they did. IDD, those who don't disagree. The highly questionable one here from lovely Falmouth, Massachusetts. The heart of the Cape. The heart of the Cape, the heart of the Boston sports team, and you know who this brother from a not-so-adjacent mother is. This is that man, the skin dog, Ian Skinner. I miss this guy. My brother from a not-so-adjacent mother. He is back in the hizzy. It's been a long time.
It's an honor to be
back. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
It's been a minute. It's been a bit.
Going on in the sports.
Lots going on. He's got, and you know, I wouldn't be a friend if I didn't offer a couch and a clipboard. And Ian's got some things he's got to get off his chest tonight, I think. And to me, this is important because, as I said, he is in the heart of Celtic Nation, Patriot Nation, Reds. You name the nation, he's in the middle of it, okay? He's here. So we're going to start segment 1. The Boston Celtics are in the offseason. They have dismantled this team.
Michael Falger?
Bailiff?
Not here.
Bailiff. Right there. He'll be, don't worry. McCosh will be, don't worry, you'll see him later. But anyway, we're in the heart of the nation here. Boston sports, the hub, and he is one of the diehard of diehards. He's seen it all. He's seen it all. From Bill Buckner's legs to Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns. That man has seen it all. Larry Joe from down 3-0. Vinatieri, he's seen it all. You know the drill. Skin Dog is here, but he has not been here for a while. And as
Rick Pitino,
Rick Pinocchio, we all somehow survived. Rick survived. He got on a plane and never came back. Coward. Anyway, but we are starting with the Celtics off season tonight. They have dismantled this team.
Shouldn't have come to this.
They shouldn't have come to this. We're going to get into that. But first and foremost, because I have not really talked to him since that utter disgrace of a performance in the semifinals, lost to the Knicks, a series anyone with a pulse thought they should have won in one going away, but they didn't. But I never got to really let him give me his take on this. So you've had a couple of months to digest or try to digest. I think it's still coming up, if we're being honest. I don't think it's gone down yet.
I don't think I'll ever get over it.
I was gone down, but when you saw this, I mean, when you first saw it to now, where's the mindset? Where was it? Where is it now? What are you thinking?
When I first, game 1 was utter disbelief and shock, the way that all went down. Game 2, I think it was, I ended up in the emergency room. Had a psychiatric event, and every day it gets worse. It's a nightmare that I can't wake up from, to be honest. I'm looking at Joe Mazzulla and I'm saying, why, Joe? Why? This is not basketball. This is not Celtic basketball. This is not Bob Cousy. This is not Tommy Heinsohn. This is analytics. This is ruining basketball. It ruined the Celtics, and Joe Mazzulla is 100% to blame for it.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Tried. He won a title. All right, well, let's see what they do now. The world's going to see him coming.
Stubborn.
Very stubborn.
To me, it's just stubborn.
Yeah.
Like, no, you can't win basketball games that way. The ball has to move. It's like music, like a good band. The bassist, the guitar player, the singer, it harmonizes. It's not one guy just chucking. It's not one person trying to just. It was horrible to watch. It was an opportunity that we missed, and now we're sitting here in the summer dismantling a team that should have won 3 championships in a row, and we lost.
You heard it right there. I'm not nuts. You heard it right there. 3 in a row, maybe 4 if you count with the Golden State debacle. Yeah.
So I'll never get over it. I'm gonna be honest. I hate the Knicks like beyond belief.
It was the Knicks.
To lose to that.
It was the Knicks. I mean,
decrepit organization.
Flawed. A flawed organization that has been fledgling, trudging, tripping over themselves for 53 years now.
I think Joe Mazzulla might be a super nice guy, but I
think he's a bad dude.
That was a failure.
A person.
That was a failure as a coach.
Yeah, epic.
He let his team down. He let Celtic Nation down. And he stood there and he just doubled down. Like, hey, we took 45 threes in game 1. We're going to take 55 in game 2. 60 in game 2. I'm sorry. Trying to forget.
Sorry. It's hard to forget. Now, Since the season has ended, of course, you guys have been following. OKC got lucky. They beat Indianapolis in 7. I said it was going to go 7. If Halliburton didn't go down, I don't think OKC wins that title. When I look at the top 6 on either of those rosters and I match them up with Boston's 6, this is why it's so nauseating. They don't match up with the Celtics. Neither one of them does. It's not even close. It's not even close, okay? Don't tell me Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a better player than Jason Tatum. No. Nobody, no.
Did Oklahoma City shoot 63s? Did Indiana shoot?
Neither one had to.
No.
They don't have to.
There's ball movement. There's player movement.
Yeah.
It's pushing the ball up the court, attacking the defense, making the defense react. Good, like fundamental basketball. They weren't like super talented teams.
No. They were deep. They're very deep. I'll give them that. But in terms of top heavy talent, well coached. Both of them were well coached, I thought.
Players knew their roles.
Yeah. And they got everybody involved. The kind of basketball that was the Celtics calling card. That for the entire of my life before you and I were even born. Boston Celtics are known for team. You go back to the Chamberlain and like all these great individual players, Michael Jordan, that the Celtics team would push back and hold them off at bay. Like the individual could never beat the team when the Celtics were the team. They're the best at it in history of the game. That's why they have the most titles. But to his point, to play the wrong style and be so talented, you still win 61 games anyway. And you have a 20. Let me ask you this, and I think you know the answer to this. How many teams could lose a 20-point score for half the season and win 61 games? How many teams could do that?
I've never seen that.
I've never seen a team do that in my lifetime. So the talent,
they were that good.
They were that talented that they could play a style they didn't need to play, lose a guy that drops 20 a night, 8 rebounds, and win 61 games.
But the warning signs were there.
They were there. Yeah.
Throughout the season, you and I talked
a few times about this.
What is happening? What are they doing? Why are they effing with the game?
Home loss after home loss
after home. You can't F with the game.
Nope.
You can't play the wrong way, and then all of a sudden, okay, now they did it all throughout the year, and it ultimately it bit them.
It bit them in the ass.
They were a team that just was flawed. They were flawed fundamentally.
Yeah.
They were flawed from a coaching perspective.
They had been flawed fundamentally for 3 years.
That's true.
Whether it was turnovers or foul shooting or not boxing out, or if Red Auerbach were alive, he would have killed somebody. And look, Joe Mazzulla, to his point, I don't think he's a bad dude, and I think he understands the history of the Celtics. He talks about it like it's a way of life. I think he believes that. But he's trying to be something that he doesn't have to be, like an innovator. Like, you're not an innovator. You're crunching a bunch of numbers and you're playing probabilities, and you can't play probabilities.
Why is Derek White hoisting 16 threes in a game? Why is Al Horford shooting 9 to 10 threes?
Al Horford?
That's just bad basketball.
It doesn't need to happen.
I mean, there were plays. I think we all remember one of the plays where Celtics got a rebound. Tatum had two choices. He could have attacked the rim or passed it to Al for a layup, or he could have stepped back and he shot and shoot a three. He chose to step back and shoot a three. That was it. That was the Celtics in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Looking away from easy buckets to take contested threes, giving the Knicks every opportunity to win, not making them play defense, not challenging them, and just playing soft.
Yeah, that was the classic. The Knicks didn't win that series. The Celtics lost it. They lost it. I mean, if you look at the numbers, here's the number that really makes you sick. In the 6 games of that series, there's 48 minutes in a game, so just do the math. 48 times 6. Boston led, with the exception of Game 6 where they got their doors blown off. The first 5 games, they led for 93% of the minutes. 93%. That series should have been over in 4. When a team is leading by that much for that long, they're not down 3-2.
No.
They're not down 3-2.
It was like watching perpetual hero ball in those first 2 games. Like everybody wanted to hit that 3 ball that was going to close it out. That's lazy.
It's lazy.
I mean,
that is the perfect word for it.
That's how lazy. They played.
And they kept, I don't know whether they had convinced themselves where they're going to fall, they're just going to fall. Law of averages, they're going to fall. I mean, when you're down 3-1, law of averages is out the window.
They gave the Knicks...
When you lose the first 2 at home, and you blow big leads in both games, that's out the window. Law of averages is out the window.
They made the Knicks think they had a chance when they didn't. They gave the Knicks hope. when they could have stepped on their throat.
Yep.
They picked them up and said, nope, no, you're still in this game. We're going to shoot you back into this game. If they just attacked the rim, both those games were over.
How many times would you say off the top of your head in the last 3 years have they had a 20-point lead and literally shot an opponent back into it?
I would say probably close to 15, 20 times I've seen it.
At least.
At least with this team.
In the last 3 years? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least. I've never seen this. And again,
can't close.
He and I are both north of 50 now, and I can't speak for him, but I can tell you personally, I never blew a 20-point lead in my fucking entire life at any level. Well, if my team was up 20, the other team did not come back.
There's a time.
Never, not once. It never happened.
There's a time when you go Paul Pierce style, when you just go to the rim, you take a hard hit, you go to the line, you make two, you win the game, good night.
Yeah.
They were not willing to do that.
No.
And I don't know if that's coaching, I don't know if that's heart, I don't know if that's hero, I don't, but sometimes it's lunch pail. Go to the rim, take the hit the free throws, we win the game.
I mean,
they weren't willing to do it.
We've both been pretty spoiled. We were talking about it at dinner tonight, about how in our lifetime we've seen 3 dynasties. Celtics in the 80s we saw the Red Sox and the Patriots, because the Red Sox have won 4 World Series in 20-something years. I mean, they had a stretch there where they won 4 and 15. They were a dynasty. Patriots are a dynasty. We've seen 3 dynasties. I mean, we know what championship play looks like.
Yeah, we do.
I think it's fair to say you and I, it's not 3 different sports, I might add. We've seen 3 dynasties in 3 different sports. Not many sports towns, I think, could say that in one lifetime. One lifetime. I mean, the Yankees are the Yankees, okay, but that's one sport. We've seen it in 3.
And I think, we've been super lucky. And I think this, I'm going to draw an important correlation when we talk about missed opportunities and dynasties that could have been. And I'm gonna bring in the Bruins.
Oh, they're the perfect example.
So that Bruins run when they had Chara, when they had Bergeron, that team should have won multiple championships. They should have. They don't. We all said when they lost that first one, or they won the first one in 2011, we're like, oh, this team's going to win multiple.
They should have. Then
they lost to Chicago. You're like, okay, they're going to win. So when you say, hey, the Celtics have plenty of time, not necessarily. With this group, the window is closing, and you don't realize the missed opportunities that they've had over the last few years. They are going to regret. Because now Tatum's out for the season. Now they're trying to rebuild.
Next season is a loss.
Yeah. So
it's a loss. Like they're not winning the championship.
You look back at that Miami series and go, wow, or the Golden State. Like the missed opportunities this franchise has had. They had a chance to be a dynasty already.
Already, they should have 3 or 4.
Because the NBA was ripe for it.
Right for it.
They had the chance.
They were right there.
And now it's complicated.
Look, Brad Stevens, in terms of assembling personnel, talent, he's as good as they get. I won't deny that. He's done very well there. It's not about assembling talent anymore. It's about style of play. And if he's going to keep feeding this machine, this 3-point chucking fucking machine, I will tell you this right now on the air, they're not going to win another title in the Tatum Brown era. They will not win another title. They were lucky to win the one they won the way they won it. Let's be honest.
Can we never see Jaylen Brown shoot 7 threes in a game ever again? I would be happy. He is not a shooter.
No. And
at the end of the day, Jason Tatum is not a 3-point shooter. He's a great mid-range player. He's 6'10".
He can shoot 37% from the 3. That's what Bird shot. But Bird was a 3-level scorer. Bird only averaged 2 3-point attempts per game.
4 or 5 threes a game for Tatum.
That's all he needs.
That's it.
That's all he needs. And if he's on, shoot more. If he's off, he has the talent. Again, when are these two going to get a post game? When is the light going to go on?
I know Tatum has a post game. I've seen it. He has it in his bag. He just chooses not to use it.
No, but I'm not talking about. What I'm talking about is he doesn't have the ball. He comes off a screen and goes to the block like a Kevin McHale would do, or a Bird would do, or a Parrish. He goes to that spot, and then the offense is run through him from the post. When is that going to happen?
I haven't seen it.
I've never seen that happen.
I haven't seen that.
If he's posting up, he's backing a guy down with the dribble. Yeah. I've never seen him give the ball up to a Drew Holiday or whoever, or Marcus Smart or Derek White, and then he comes off a screen, or he reverse pivots and he posts up. When is that going to happen? I've never seen that.
Him is smaller than he is.
Literally.
He has a mismatch every time. And he can draw a double and he can kick. They don't run that.
They don't run it at all.
They run him at 29 feet from the basket.
Literally.
One screen, step back 3, 6'10". That's
such a waste. And he's so talented, he drops 27 a night doing it. He last year 27, 8, and 6. Those are MVP numbers. They're good enough to win league MVP. Okay? But if you're going to do it taking 10 threes a game,
you're not going to win championships.
No, you're not. It was fool's gold. It was not. It was the one-off. It wasn't the norm.
And the worst thing that could have happened, I remember a few games this year. There was a game in New York where he hit a bunch of step-back threes, and he was feeling himself.
Yep, he was cooking.
And I remember thinking, like, this is not good.
Nope.
This is not going to win a championship. This is not sustainable.
Nope.
And it isn't, because when the playoffs happen, the defense picks up, the pressure picks up. Those step-back threes, they're not falling.
Everything ratchets up in the playoffs. And get the playoff experience of Tatum and Brown in particular, they should know better.
Yeah.
They've played, they've been in 5 or 6 conference finals already. They should know better that of anyone, they have more experience in terms of they know how much that intensity defensive goes up in the playoffs. They've been through it too many times.
Yeah.
There's no excuse.
I go back to that Cleveland Game 7 against LeBron. How many threes did they miss in that game?
God.
Just chucking threes. That game was there for them to take.
And they gave it away.
And they just kept settling.
I mean, winning a championship is hard. It's hard, okay? But if you aren't willing to do the hard that it takes to win those championships, you're not going to win them.
No.
You said it's a shortcut. It's a bailout. This is our philosophy. I can't stand when they sit in front of the microphone and go, look, this is our style of play. Fuck you and your style of play. Honestly, fuck you and your style of play. I'm sick and tired of it. And by the way,
when they asked Joe after Game 2, and they said, Joe, how'd you feel about the shot selection tonight? He said, I had no problem with it. I smashed my television set. I lost my mind. I don't remember what happened after he said that. Because you can't tell me those were good shots.
No, they weren't.
Contested threes.
And it wasn't even this is the other problem. They were cold.
Ice cold.
They weren't even making them.
Ice cold.
It's one thing to go, 11 for 18 and a half. So, okay, you're hot. And you come out because you're hot and you do that. It's another thing to be 3 for 18 and you come out and that's the first thing you do in the first 4 possessions. When you're 3 for 18. Any normal coach would look at that number at halftime and go, all right, no more fucking threes. Go to the fucking basket, get in a rhythm, because that's what shooting is. It is a rhythm. He's a shooter. He knows. Okay, shooting is a rhythm. I always tell my kids this. You don't build a house from the roof down. You build it from the ground up. And when it comes to shooting, you start inside, you get in a rhythm, you get a couple in close, a couple of mid-range, couple of layups, then you step back and you take that shot again. You don't come out of the locker room.
No.
And the first 6 possessions, 5 of them are 3-point.
You get to the rim.
You get to the rim.
You shoot a mid-range.
Something easy.
To me,
something to build your confidence.
That style of basketball, to me, it kills the energy of the team. And it didn't just kill them offensively; it killed them defensively. It takes the soul away from the team. When you come down and you chuck a quick 3, nobody's underneath for a rebound. It's like you're not feeling it on the defensive end. And the entire karma of that team just fell apart.
Well, plus from the offensive standpoint, if you're taking a 3-point shot, and to his point, no one's under the basket yet because it's one pass and a shot, and it's a 3. It is so you're good. You have to shoot to go one and done and not get a second and third opportunity. One of the reasons the Knicks beat them is because they would get 2 and 3 chances of possession. The Knicks didn't shoot great.
The
Celtics just didn't box out.
They out-hustled us.
Which, by the way, if this is the other problem I have with Joe Mazzulla, everybody who knows who Josh Hart is knows what his calling card is. It's hustle and offensive rebounding, and he alone was getting 4 or 5 offensive rebounds a game. He alone was doing that, and he's not big. He's 6'6", maybe he's that.
Put a body on him.
Like if you're guarding Mr. Hart, or every player, because they switch every screen. Okay, if you got Hart, he doesn't get the rebound. I don't care if you get it, but he doesn't. He came free. I don't know how many times in that. It was every game. It was like he got under the rim 9-10 times, and he didn't get the rebound, but he got a lot of them. And the Knicks would miss the first shot, the initial, but they'd get a second. Now you're going to play defense 24 seconds again, which, by the way, you know what that does to your legs? And then what do you do when you have tired legs? You don't come down and jack threes when you have tired legs.
Exactly.
This one thing feeds the other. That's exactly what they did. And it's like, that's basketball 101. You know not to do that.
Where is Joe to say, hey guys, let's change this up? Where was that?
I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's been handed the keys to a Ferrari. He has crashed it twice in 3 years. That's what I think. Okay, I don't want to hear about Tatum went down in Game 7 and Tatum went down in Game 4. If this team played the right way, those games wouldn't even have happened. They wouldn't have happened because they'd have been up 3-0 against them, and Tatum wouldn't have been trying to score all by himself in the winning moments because nobody else could do anything. Tatum had 42 points when he went down. They were down 7 points. They were losing. They were going to lose that game.
They were losing.
So he was trying to do everything, and that's how it happened. Because he has to do too much when you play this style of play, and everybody's cold.
And they lost the first 2 games at home.
Yeah.
So, again, that's all.
This
organization needs to figure out who they want to be, and I'm counting on Brad to say to Joe during this offseason that you need to make some changes. And I think Joe's got a really short leash. He should have a very short leash.
I don't want to hear about, well, they don't have Tatum. No. This team has enough talent to win 55 games without him. In spite of the moves they've made, they've still got Brown. They've still got Pritchard. They've still got Derek White. They've still got freaking Hauser off the bench. They've still got pieces. Okay, this team has enough talent to win 50 to 55 games without Tatum. The East is not that strong. Top to bottom, it's not that strong. The Pacers, Halliburton's gone for the year. The Knicks they're a flawed team. The Cavaliers are the biggest choke this side of the freaking San Diego, the LA Chargers, whatever you want to call them these days. Okay, that team can lose like you read about, regardless of who they're wearing the uniform. Okay, Cleveland's a bunch of choke artists. I'm not going to buy that shit.
This could be a top 4 seed.
Easily.
If they play the right way.
Easily. But the thing about copycat, this is what here's the hope. I didn't get to tell you this at dinner time. When I close the segment with this, Brad Stevens saw that final. Brad Stevens has got to be telling himself neither one of those teams is as talented as ours. At least it wasn't last year. And he's also going to be asking himself, why can't we play that style of play? Where they're taking 25 to 33s a game as opposed to 45 to 60, whatever, give or take. They average 47 threes a game. What the fuck? 47 possessions? That's half the game.
One quarter, they shot 19 out of their 20 shots. In the third quarter, I think it was game 2.
Yeah.
19 were threes.
And they had a 14-point lead when they were doing that.
Can anyone imagine?
And they weren't making threes.
No. What a terrible brand of basketball that is.
I don't know.
You mess with karma in basketball. That's what you get.
Yeah.
You can't win that way.
Yeah. But anyway, we're going to come back, segment 2. The Boston Red Sox. Hey, remember them? They are in a playoff race.
I can't believe it.
After trading away the definition of malcontent, what he's doing in San Fran right now, this ass clown. We'll talk Red Sox. They are playing Tampa tonight. Hunter Dobbins is on the mound, and I believe a certain all-star third baseman is back in the lineup. We will discuss segment 2 coming right up.
Let's go.